y'all. It's Sierra, host of the Yes Lord podcast, where we make a conscious decision to say yes to the Lord every single day. Thank you for joining me. We're in season 2, and I'm very, very excited about that. I thought that I today would do a little something different. I had asked last season for people to send me messages or questions that they had for me. And so I just wanted to share a couple of those questions today and answer them and hope that this gives you a little bit more insight into me and my journey. So I want to start with the first question, and it's a hard one. So if you don't like vulnerability, if you're allergic to it, maybe you should click off now. No, I was kidding. Here we go. So the first question is, what has been your biggest struggle or obstacle in life? And that's a good question. I think for me, my biggest struggle or obstacle in life has been honestly myself. As a kid, there was like varying degrees of bullying, and yes, there's been people who told me I couldn't do something, or people who were jealous, or people who were just angry at me for whatever reason. But I think the biggest thing has been just myself. As I've mentioned in previous episodes and before, it's no secret that I used to struggle with depression, really severe depression. And you wouldn't be able to tell because I would always be smiling and I would always be up and about and doing things. But it was that mindset that people couldn't really see. It was so insidious, or they could see it. I would say something and it'd be really negative, and people would be like, "Oh, well, I don't see it that way. Like, why would you see it that way?" And I was like, "Oh, crap. I've been exposed. They can see the depression. They can tell that I'm negative and that I have bad thoughts." So I would say dealing with depression was probably my biggest, because when you're dealing with depression, your brain and partially the enemy tells you that you're not good enough, that you're never going to be better. You want to do more, you want to get outside, you want to do things, but it's just so difficult for you because every day feels like a struggle. And when you are so in that place, you kind of get into survival mode. You start to get into self preservation mode, where everything you do is calculated by how uncomfortable am I going to be? How much effort is this going to require? How much strength is this going to require? But honestly, truly, I've learned that even though I went through those things, that it ultimately can become a strength, because then I'm able to tell other people about it and tell them that they're not alone, tell other people that there is another side to it, that God can heal you and that He wants to heal you. And you may have gone through something for a really long time, but that does not define who you are, right? Depression does not define who you are. Depression definitely is not who God says you are. So ultimately, I want to say to that, if we read our word, and people talk about affirmations all the time, it's something that I'm still learning to do, biblical affirmations, not just, I will manifest whatever I get from the world. No, I'm talking about biblical affirmations, finding scripture that tells you who you are and how the Lord sees you and who He is to you, and saying those things over yourself every day. We've gone through them before in previous episodes, so I won't hash at it again, but I think that's super important for being able to fortify yourself in who you are, who you truly are, even if you don't see yourself as that in that moment. And something about saying that over your life, something about your words having power, obviously, and giving life to things, ultimately makes it true for you. Even though God already knew who you were, sometimes you have to see who you are before you can truly step into what He has for you. So that's that question. Second question is, how have your relationships or friendships been affected by your walk with God? Has it had any impact? And I would say, yeah. Yeah, long story short. But to go into the story, I think when it comes to friendships, I have just a few close friends. One thing the Lord will do is He will swat away people in an instant, especially when you're going through your desert seasons or when He's cocooning you to kind of prepare you for something. God may isolate you. So that was part of what my desert season was in Arizona, was that isolation. I had to get away from everything that felt comfortable, everything that felt known, so that I could be in a place where I could take the time to figure out who I was for myself and take the time to fortify myself in God. And not everybody can go to that place with you. Not everybody deserves to go to the next place that you're going with you. So God will take people out of your life because they're just simply not going where you're going, or they don't have the vision that you have. We all have our different path to walk, and they might not have the same understanding or the same vision of what God is calling you to. And I've found that it's not really worth explaining. You can't sometimes explain what you see because God has not shown that other person that thing. So that's just a piece of wisdom. And then when it comes to actual relationships, like romantic or otherwise, like, yeah, of course. I mean, I am single, I'm not married, and I haven't been dating or in a relationship with anyone for years. And I'm quite okay with that. Do I in the future see myself with someone? Of course I do. But I think I really needed this time to grow and to learn. And not everybody can, again, come with me on that journey. Not everybody can be in my space. I used to think it was funny because there might be a guy that would talk to me or someone that I was interested in. And I'd be like, God, if this person is not for me, take them away. And literally the next day, every single time, it never failed. The Lord was like, boop, swatted them away. I was like, God, am I a repellent? Are you fly swatting people away from me? And in a way, he was, because he's like, I'm protecting you. You did not see what that person had done or is. You only see what you can see. I see further. I see into your future. I see into their future, and I see into their present. You may not see, and I may not reveal to you what that person is dealing with, but I'm going to protect you from it. Even if it feels bad to you, just know that it is what I'm doing, because I have reserved special things for you for your future, and you cannot get distracted, basically, is what the Lord was saying to me. So, of course, family, friends, there is some vulnerability, obviously, to anything that I do. So, there will be people that like what I say, and there will be people that don't like what I say. And that can affect people in the future, especially if I say something that feels like I'm targeting someone, even if I'm not, or it feels foreign to you. You may be like, oh, well, she's closed minded or whatever. But I think anything that I do can be misconstrued by anybody, or it could bless people. So I'm going to say it anyway. And ultimately, my walk with God is for me and God, it's not for anybody else. So I ultimately have to do what the Lord tells me to do and be who He tells me to be, and not worry too much about who people say I am. People discredited Jesus. People killed Jesus and told him who he wasn't, and told him he wasn't a king. So if Jesus can be persecuted, then I can be persecuted too. It is what it is. I mean, he even says that in his word. So, but even if it's not persecution, even if people are showing me love, I can't take that to heart either, because it's not for my glory, it's for the glory of the Lord. As long as I can evangelize to people and tell more people about who the Lord is and show them my journey, and that helps them, then I think I will go at the end of my days to the Lord, and hopefully I'll hear a well done, my good and faithful servant. That's really what the goal is here. So that's that's that. But yeah, just keep bringing in your questions. I would love to continue to talk with you guys more and share my perspective on things. Let's laugh and kiki together. It'll be fun. So I'll see you later. And please like, comment, subscribe. Please comment. I love to hear your stories. And how would you answer these questions? What have your walks been like with the Lord? Has that affected your relationship with yourself, with other people? I'd love to know. And I'll see you next time. Bye.